Hello guys, in this video we will try to understand the if function in detail. First let's try to understand why do we use if function, what is its use. Okay, so the if function is used to check for a particular condition. Let's say you are given with a condition, you have to identify whether something is true or something is false, or you have to see if something has failed or something has passed. In those conditions we use the if function. Okay, I know it might be confusing when we just give the explanation. So let's straight ahead go into an example and try to understand this better. Okay, so let's say we have a set of students and we have the scores for them for 4 different subjects. Okay, so we have to identify. So now we are given with a condition. We have to check if the score of Adam, the student Adam, for the subject mathematics is greater than 20 or not. Okay, so what is the condition here? Condition is to check if the mathematics score for Adam is greater than 20 or not. And now there will be 2 more other conditions. If the condition is true, okay, that is if it is greater than 20, then we have to show a value true, or we have to show a value passed. Okay, if it is greater than 20, we have to show passed. And if the value is less than 20, we have to show failed in a cell. Okay. So that is the target, to check if the score is greater than 20 or not. And if it is greater than 20, show passed in a cell. If it is less than 20, show failed in a cell. That is the question we are given with. So how do we do it? This is where we use the if function, because we have a condition and we have to give an output based on it. And this is how the if function looks like. Okay, we have to start with equal to, then type if, which shows the if function. Then within the brackets, we have 3 different values. The first one, the test here means the value which we are testing for. It is the logical condition. In this case, it will be greater than 20 or not. Then true value is the value if the condition is true, and false value is the value if the condition is false. Okay. So now let's try to get the result for the condition. So first here we have greater than or equal to. Let's see. If we type if, then you can either click on the tab button to close that, or you can manually put the brackets. Then first we write the logical test. So in this case, what is the logical test? Logical test is the score for Adam for mathematics, which is this mathematics and Adam. If this score is greater than 20, that is the test that is our logical test. That is what we are looking for. Okay, now what if this is greater than 20? What if this condition is true? If this condition is true, we have to show passed. Okay, that is the second value. Then again put a comma. And what is the third value? Third value is what happens if the condition is false. Okay, let's say if the condition is false, we have to show fail. That is what. Now close the bracket. Now we have completed the function. We have if, we have the condition which is b2 greater than 20, and we have the true condition which is show passed. We have the false condition as well. Now just click on enter. See, bam, now we have the result. It shows passed. Now why is it showing passed here? Because we can clearly see that the score of Adam is 40 and we were testing for whether the score is greater than 20. So what is 40 is greater than 20, and thus the condition is passed, right? Let's say if the score was 10, what do you think the result should be? 10 is less than 20 and hence it should be showing failed, right? So let's try to make it 10 and see if the result changes or not. Bam, the results changed, right? So now the score is 10 and the result has changed to fail. Okay, so now here as you can see I have used the rand function, so it will keep on changing. So first let's try to keep it constant here. Okay, so now the values will not change. Okay, so now we have checked for the condition which is greater than 20. And actually when you use the if function, there are multiple operators that we can check for. Okay, so in this case what did we use? We check for if the condition is greater than or not. Okay, so similarly we can check for less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, not equal to. There are multiple operators that we can test for. Let's see each of these one by one. Okay, so we already tested for greater than. Now let us test for an example which is less than. So how do we start? Equal to if. We can manually close the bracket or just click on the tab And then let's have a logical test. In this test, let's say the logical test, let's take the Peter score for science. Okay. If the score for science is less than 30, let's put the score as 30. So we are checking if Peter's score for science is less than 30. And if it is less than 30, we will show poor. Okay. It is a poor score. Okay. And if not, put a comma, and if it's false, okay, if it is not less than 30, what I have to show? We should show good score. Okay, so if it is less than 30, it is a poor score. If it is greater than 30, we will show good score. Now let's see what the result is coming out to be. See, we got poor score. Why is it poor score? Because the 30, less than 30 score for Peter is actually less than 30, and thus we got poor score as the result. So that is an example of using less than function. Now we can use greater than or equal to function. Okay. So let's say if we take a particular value of 10 and we apply greater than function, it will count the results from 11 only. Okay. 11, 12 and onwards. Let's say if we have to involve 10 as well in the particular condition, we have to use greater than or equal to. Let's use an example for that. So we have to if, click on tab to complete that logical test. If the test is that the score for John for literature is greater than or equal to 43. Okay, so here itself, if it's 43 also, then we have to show great. Okay, here 43 also is included. Earlier, if we just given greater than 43, then it will count from 44 only. So here 43 is also great. In that case, we will give greater than or equal to 43. Okay, if it is less than 43, then we will show not great. Okay, now close the bracket. Now let's see what happens. Here we got great. Now why is it great? Because John's score for literature is 43. And 43 falls into this criteria. It is greater than or equal to. Here it is equal to 43. And thus the result was true, which is great. Now similarly we can use less than or equal to. Let's see. Equal to if, close the bracket, the condition is the score for David for history is less than or equal to 37. Okay, and if it is less than or equal to 37, we can give okay. If it is false, okay, which means if it is not less than 37 or greater than 37, we will show good. Okay, now let's close the bracket and see what we are getting. We are getting okay. Why are we getting okay? Because here equal to 37 is also applicable and the score was actually 37. So that is also included. Now let's check for equal to. Okay, directly. So here we are directly checking if something is equal to or not. Okay. For example, let's say if we have to check the score of Scott for mathematics is equal to a particular value. Let's say we input a value 40. Okay, if it is equal to 40 or not. If it is equal to 40, then we have to get correct. If it is not equal to 40, then we have to get incorrect. Okay, so that is what we are testing for. If it is equal to 40, correct. If it is not equal to 40, then incorrect. What did we get? We got correct because we searched for B8. Okay, which is code score and it is equal to 40. Now let's say we change this cell B8 and let's say we put C8, okay, which is the score for science, and we are checking if it is 40 or not. Then what will we get? We get incorrect because we are searching whether something is equal to 40 and this value here is 29, right? 29 is not equal to 40 and thus we get incorrect. Now we can also check whether something is not equal to or not. Okay, so how do we check for not equal to? So we give if function, then we choose a cell. Let's say this score for Jennifer. We are searching for Jennifer's score and we are searching if it is not equal to let's say 10. Okay, if it is not equal to 10, then the result has to be true. And if it is equal to 10, then the result has to be false. Okay, so the result has to be false. Now let's try to close it and see what we are getting. We get true. Why? Because Jennifer's score is 35 and it is not equal to 10. That is why we are getting true. Let's say if it is 10, it should be the otherwise, right? Now let's put a number that is 10. So here instead of 35, let's put 10. And now we get false. Why? Because the question is we are searching for not equal to, and this condition became false. Okay. So that is why we are getting here. So hope now you guys have a clear understanding of what is if function and why we use it. So we use if function, we have to check for a particular condition, whether it's true or false, or whether it's passed or failed. And depending upon that, we have to give a particular output. Now there are some key points that we have to keep in mind. So we do get value error if the function cannot determine a particular test result. In those cases, you will be getting a value error. So if you are getting that, just check the formula, what has gone wrong, if the function or the logical test that we have given is wrong or not. Check that if you are getting the value error. And if you actually give an array of cells as an argument, right? So here we were checking for all these functions, we were just taking one particular cell. Okay. Instead of that particular cell, if you chose an array of cells, then what the formula does is that it looks for all the elements within that cell. Okay. That's what the if formula does. And if you actually want to count the number of conditions, there is a separate formula called COUNTIF. And if you want to sum the particular conditions, then there is another formula called SUMIF. And we will explore both of these functions in a separate video. And if there are multiple conditions that have to be checked, then we can use nested ifs, which is one if followed by multiple other ifs. Again, nested ifs as well we will see in one of the upcoming videos. So this video was essentially to understand what is if function, the most basics of if function, with multiple examples for different operators that can be used for if function. So again, why should we use if function? We use if function to test whether a condition is true or false. Okay. So in all these cases, we were testing if the condition is true or false. And then after testing if it is a true or false, then to get a number or a text as an output to that condition. So all these cases, we were giving a text as an output. We check for a condition whether it's true or false. And based on that condition, we gave an output. This could be a number or it could be a text. So that is what if function is. Hope this video was helpful to you guys. Thank you.